Yeah.
What is that? You tried to make a note. You should.
Court is in session. Verdict is in. No appeal on the docket today. Just my own sin.
Do you love the movies? Did you love the search for the perfect rental on a Friday night? Finally settling on something you would someday regret? Until, like us, you do a podcast about movies? Because that's what we did. Welcome to Mike and Anthony Soda Pop Culture Club. Me, Mike, along with my co-host, Anthony.
That's her birthday. Get her a Pepsi.
Bring our take on a classic movie every Monday from the 80s, 90s, and beyond, during which we will play the game and open up a six-pack of favorite scenes. We'll also point out a couple of generic scenes as well. At the end of the movie, we will rate the movie 1 to 24 cans. 1 can is a 4-spice steak, and 24 cans is a hot fudge sundae. That's good, isn't it?
Little floor spice makes everything nice.
Yeah. But before we get to all that, we want to let you know that we have a website. It's a wonderful place, sodapopcultureclub.com, where you can make your own movie suggestions. So if you want to guarantee we do your movie, all you have to do is put it in the portal there, make a donation of $25 using Venmo or PayPal, and our name is at Soda Pop Culture Club with these things. So don't forget to make sure you say what it is for, though. You got to let us know the movie when you make this donation, because if you don't, we just take your money.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
And we'll pretend that you picked whatever we picked. that's
Shenanigans.
What was that? Yeah, we're up to shenanigans. We're up to shenanigans. We also strongly encourage you to email us on the side, too, giving us a little story as to why you requested that. If it's special to you, something in your heart, at Mike and Anthony at sodapopcultureclub.com is where you would send that. And if you want to support our show without a movie request, it's easy. Just hit the merch link on our website, and you can buy shit.
Buy some shit.
Buy some shit. That's the best way, other than just giving us money to do a movie for you. If you want to say, hey, we appreciate you, buy some shit. Buy a fanny pack or something.
Oh, that's the fanny pack. That's huge. I gotta tell you guys, right? Yes, absolutely. Are you kidding me? It's where you put your things.
Your things.
It's where you put your things.
Yeah. I got
a satchel for your waist.
Okay.
It's where you put your things.
I got a couple more things. Don't forget to share the show with your friends. Check out our Instagram at Mike and Anthony, where we post, like we said before, these thirst traps of Anthony. They're pretty hot. We also have the Twitch channel that he's right. I haven't been doing it enough, but I will, I promise. So hold out. And when if you subscribe and you see me go live, it's time. So be there. So that's be Tuesday nights when we do that. Plus, we need you to go to Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review, a comment, because that would be super awesome. It helps the show grow on that particular platform, because they know no other way to make that happen. So, Anthony, what are we doing this week?
Oh, I have been waiting for this one. All right. Breakdown by the numbers. Directed by Rob McKittrick. Starring Ryan Reynolds, Justin Long, Anna Faris, Elena Ubach. If I said that right, I hope so. If I butcher these, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to. Dane Cook, Luis Guzman, Vanessa Lenges, David Kocher, John Francis Daly from Freaks and Geeks,
and Bones,
Andy Milanakis, Rob Benedict, Caitlin Doubleday, Max Cash, Jordan Ladd, and Melissa Alonso as Stunt Bush. True story. Waiting was released on October 7th, 2005, taking an $18.6 million at the box office against a $3 million budget. It scores 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb and 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All
There
right.
we go.
Okay. I'm just going to leave that there, and I'm going to play the trailer.
Hey there, Natasha. How's my favorite minor doing today?
I'm only a minor for another week.
Good answer.
There's a time in life
Hey, man, what's going on?
when you almost have it all figured out.
Did you ever just wake up and realize I'm a loser?
Yeah, man.
I want to be a teacher, or an electrical engineer, anything.
Hey, could you put down the ice pick?
But until then, all you can do is wait.
Everybody get funky.
Is everything prepared okay?
How about some dessert?
How would you like your steak prepared?
The 5-second rule, the 5-second rule. 2, 3.
We almost had to switch to the 10-second rule.
Most of the guys that work here like to play this little game. You know the object, right? I mean, have the other guy look at your neck.
No girl would ever play that game.
Why not?
Because of this!
Ow! Oh, God! It's so angry!
This fall,
All right, men. 0 hour is upon us. Let us seize the day! Yeah. Oh, welcome to Thunderdome.
serve it up.
You enjoyed having sex with me.
Once we got past foreplay, you turned into the little engine that couldn't...
Oh, what the?
Dish it out.
You don't get out front and start doing some work, I'm gonna fire you faster than you can say Yo MTV Raps.
But never
This steak is medium rare. How hard is your job?
send it back.
I'm gonna get this fixed for you right away. It's go time.
The first thing we do is we add a little extra gravy to the mashed potato.
Oh, God.
Followed by a little garlic salt.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, me.
Lionsgate Films presents a comedy about an 8-hour day
We are not having sex in the bathroom.
Come on.
Okay.
and a lifetime of memories.
We need birthday singers! Yeah! Happy birthday to you!
Waiting.
I hope you enjoyed everything. I know I did.
Can I point out one thing in that preview
Yes.
that it said in an 8-hour workday? Slight twist. Calvin worked a double.
Yeah, he worked but he worked at the same times they all did. So how did
But
he work
he
a
worked
double?
Because he had to take up the other girl's shift that he wanted to date, but didn't really want to date him because she was
But
ghosting him.
They all came at the same time. So how did he work a double as compared to?
Calvin worked a double.
Do you think he's a part-timer and he worked 4
All I'm
hours?
saying is the whole thing about that was he was working a double because of that girl.
I guess. I don't
So,
know.
I gotta say right now too, I'm not gonna throw all these out right now. This movie is so full of 6-packs and generics, it's not even funny.
I could. It's a
Oh my
minefield.
God, throw darts at a board for this. Holy shit.
People, this is gonna get rough, I'm sure. So hold on. But before it gets rough, I'm thinking we need to play the game.
Game time.
We can do something fun here. Let me make
right.
sure I hit the right music too. Yes, that is the correct music, and we are playing the game, and you know what the game is. The game is where I read 3 reviews. One of them is fake that I made up. Anthony has to guess which one is the fake review. You too can play along and see if I can fake you out. And if this is where you end the podcast, I understand. This is probably the most fun part of it. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
I agree.
If you say, I play the game and I check out, motherfucker. That's what it is.
Done.
And because of that, I'm gonna play our new sound effect for that.
Yes. More cowbell.
We gave it more cowbell for you. All right, so at least you get to hear that, because if I play it later, you won't get to hear it.
Hey,
all right.
I'm gonna give a quick plug first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody, if you have just tuned in to our podcast, if this is your first episode, I do encourage you, if this is where you're starting out, listen to our very last podcast on Toy Story.
Yeah.
Mike loves that one. And I got to say, it's actually pretty darn good.
You did listen?
I feel like we actually became podcasters on that one.
For at least for one episode.
It's really good, though. It is good.
It is good. For one episode, we sounded like we knew our shit. So, are you ready for this?
No, but let's go.
All right. Carl Reed of themovieguru.com. I don't know how to feel about this movie until I know how much of this really happens. Nick Shager of Slant Magazine. Waiting serves up a stale dish of dim-witted drivel. Harvey Carton of CompuServe. Tasteless and funny. That's a compliment. That's the rest of the story. I feel like Walter Cronkite.
This is totally wrong. I'm sure it is. But I'm going to guess the first one.
Why is that?
Is that right or not?
I'm not telling you if it's right. I have to ask you why.
I'm going to tell you. And it's a total reach. But as soon as you said Carl Reed, I just had in my head Carl C. and then Reed. Made me think of Creed. I'm like, that's...
You're a fucking idiot, but you're right.
Yes!
Yes! Do you know who Carl Reed is?
I know Carl Winslow.
He's the janitor on Breakfast Club.
Yes! Oh, Carl.
I thought you were going to say Carl on Breakfast Club, and I was
Carl.
like, you fucking nailed it.
I nailed it for a different reason. Oh, gosh. Yes.
Man.
I mean, wait. Hold on. Yeah.
What is that? You tried to make a note. You should.
Court is in session. Verdict is in. No appeal on the docket today. Just my own sin.
What the fuck is that?
Should have been dead on a Sunday morning. Banging in my head. No time for warning. Ain't got no time.
You're going to scare away every listener we've ever had.
You know what? That will do it for sure.
Should have been dead
on a Sunday morning.
Oh, man.
You can do it again because I'll keep going.
All right. Are we ready for this?
Yes.
I'm just going to say this movie, and before we get into this, I don't have a lot of facts on it, I don't think. But before we get started, this movie is not very linear. And what I mean by that, the plot is so thin, and it's more about a bunch, like you said, of potholes to get us through the most thin plot there is.
Well, you know what? I kind of disagree with that.
Okay, well then I'll just go, and then we'll see what happens.
Wait, hold on. Let me throw this out. Have you ever worked in a restaurant?
I have worked in fast food or fast service, not restaurant like that.
But not like that. Okay. So
I've prepared food and I've taken care of customers.
Maybe I'm stretching here, but I don't know that I am. I got to say. We'll talk about this as far as how the movie progresses and everything. But you do see a lot of quote unquote shenanigans. But you also do see that if you've ever worked in a restaurant, this is fairly true to life.
I don't want to hear that right now. We're not there yet.
But listen,
we're not there.
Hold on. Let me just say, I do love the fact that if you really want to go there and like think about it, it's called waiting.
I get it.
Which, you know, that's kind of like, that's the movie. These are people waiting to find out what they want to do or just waiting, you know.
I'm glad you're trying to find some deep meaning in this.
Maybe I'm going existential, but I'm just saying, like, okay, there's some truth there.
You're going non-essential. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Dean has been a waiter at a restaurant called Shenanigans for 4 years since graduating from high school and has not earned a degree during his 4 years at community college. When Dean learns from his mother that a former high school classmate, Chet, now has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, he begins to rethink his directionless life. So yes, this is the impetus for how it starts. But really, this movie, to me, isn't about this as much, only with this character.
Right.
Like, yeah. But I do have some notes here. Like, I don't know, do you want me to go over
it? You got me a fact?
No, my notes. Are you relooking at the fucking notes?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. But my thing is like I say, cry me a river if you try to measure yourself against others because you're doomed to failure. His problem is that he's too idealistic. Like, there's some reason he's had to figure his whole life out at that time. That isn't how life fucking works. Life's happening right now while you're doing it. It's already been figured out for you. You're just not doing anything with it. That's all. Like, I hate that. Like, reality is most people don't figure it out, and they're crushed by, what did I say this? Squashed by the yoke of reality that you carry around this burden that you're never going to be what you thought you were at that age. So get the fuck over it and go out and earn some money and maybe try to live an existence that can make you somewhat happy. That is it. This is it. Because life is messy. It's random. It's not always fair. Get the fuck over yourself. Not everybody is a shiny little rainbow with the trophy and gets to live the dream.
Hold on.
That's what Dean's pissing in his weenies about.
Listen, you're speaking as a 40-something-year-old person.
You're right.
Not as
an experienced person.
Fucking barely preteen working in a restaurant. That's different. When you're at that age, in college, just out of college, yeah, you are looking at your peers and what they're doing, what they've done. You do use that as a benchmark.
I know.
Until you realize, fuck it sucks.
If you benchmark yourself to your peers, you will always be a failure because there's always somebody who achieved more than you. Or achieved something you want, or you have something. It's how it is.
You're a waiter at a restaurant, the same fucking douchebag that took all the smarty smart classes that you took, and you were probably smarter than him. It kind of appears that way. And you're like, I agree. Well, shit. I mean, I know you're lactose intolerant, and I can memorize your fucking steak orders.
So, Mr. Underachiever, do you have this problem too? Do you have in your life
what I'm saying
where you look at other people that you had more of whatever it is, but you're less than because they achieved something more than you?
No. Hold on. I'll tell you a story.
You have a lot of fucking stories.
I do. So right out of college, so I went to college, and I was a communications, media, theater arts major. Okay.
And you don't produce this fucking show?
I wanted to do radio. So
Fuck you.
I did radio as an internship. I did it at the radio station, college as well. So I get the local radio station I interned at. They offered me a job out of college.
Sweet.
$16,000 a year.
That's shit.
No shit. It's shit. Let me
that's
tell
how you earn your dues in radio.
Hold on. Not at that fucking radio station.
And then you get paid to do go to places.
But here's the thing. No. Here. When you have your potential employer explaining to you that, you really don't need a car in this town, you can walk anywhere, as to why you should take $16,000 a year as your salary.
They should syndicate.
That's a no-go. So I will say, then I got, I went to some job fairs. I got lured into working for an insurance company. Ooh. And but here's the thing. Here's where they did that. They took you out to dinner. They took me to a Tigers game, and I was a Tigers fan too.
Yeah.
They took me to a Tigers game. Then we went to fucking Windsor, and
they loosened you up so they could fuck you.
Did. They loosened me up. They moved it so they could stick it in. So, but here's the thing. Just like anything else, you get so influenced and you see, oh, whoa, look at what these people are doing. I want to do that. And that's the thing.
And you're young and impressionable.
At that age, you are so impressionable. And, so this is kind of Dean here, even though now he's got, this is not, hey, you can make $1 million and go to Windsor with us. This is, you could be the assistant manager.
Which, yeah.
But the beauty of this is you tell people things and they have to do it. And if they don't, they get in trouble.
I just think he's kind of a bitch. Personally, still do. And you gotta remember, I'd be this way with my kid if I heard that same stupid idealism of trying to, you can't figure everything out. You might fail at the first thing you try. Yeah. And you got to understand that it may take you 20 years to be whatever it is, or 30 years, or you may never get to where you thought you'd be. But if you can be happy or find some life that is reasonable, yes. It's okay.
And have you ever seen the sequel to this?
No, because why would anyone watch the sequel to this?
I'm going to tell you right now.
What is it? hose and toes. I don't know what the fuck that would be about.
Let me just say, you should watch the sequel to this.
Is there less pedophilia?
You should watch it at least towards the end because Dean comes back.
Okay.
And that scene alone is money.
Okay.
Everything we're going to talk about here, when you see what happens to Dean, it's awesome.
Okay, so I'll watch the thing. You know, I'm down with that. I'll watch it.
I can do a revisit on this after you watch that, I think.
Well, maybe. I don't know. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on Dean. And that's the impetus for this whole movie, it seems. And then everything else is kind of like in his orbit. So let's let you go ahead and read the next section here.
All right. So Dean's roommate and coworker, Monty, is in exactly the same situation, kind of. But has accepted that his failure lies, or his future lies with the restaurant. He's there. He's done. Monty is put in charge of training Mitch, a newly hired waiter who is constantly interrupted throughout most of the film before he can finally speak, usually by Monty. Also working with Dean is Calvin, a hopeless romantic who cannot urinate in public, ever, which we all can understand that, right? Can you?
What do you mean in public? Like I can't do it like out in the middle of the town square?
Like if people are around?
Well, if I'm not in a restroom situation with a stall or a urinal, you're correct.
Can't do it in a trough. Anyways.
I can't do it in a trough. No trough. That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I know.
County Fair Trough, 1978 to 1988. That's wrong.
Anybody who wants to cross the streams, no. Ghostbusters is done. All right, so anyway, also Dan, the uptight manager who is grooming Dean as his protege. Rounding out the staff are 17-year-old hostess Natasha, abrasive waitress Naomi, waitress and Monty's ex-girlfriend Serena, Dean's girlfriend and fellow waitress Amy, stoner busboys Nick and T-Dog, head chef Radimus, the insane, unsanitary chef Floyd, lesbian bartender Tyla, and the pensive and philosophical dishwasher Bishop. This is a fucking cast right here. This is everything you need to work in a restaurant right here.
And this is why we're not. And this is one of the things I'm going to go into a couple facts here in a moment. But one of the things, the reasons I don't think we can do this movie real linear, like we normally do. Like we'll go through. We're going to just kind of talk about these people and maybe talk.
So, all right.
What was that?
I've got some stories here too.
Okay, but first, before we get on, I got a couple facts. There are many similarities between the characters Monty and Mitch and the characters Chris Knight and Mitch Taylor in Real Genius from 1985. Thanks is given in the credits to the director of Real Genius, Martha Coolidge. So that's actually, so if you feel those two characters have that same relationship that Val Kilmer had with that other guy, that is because it was intentional. I don't know if have you ever seen Real Genius?
A long time ago. It's been
can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a 2x4 with your penis?
I'd have to watch it again.
Okay.
Yes, I could. Yes, I could.
And he said, we'll hammer later. And an original incarnation of the script, Calvin was the character who couldn't piss, and Brian was a character who couldn't get the girl. The parts were combined at the last minute. And basically, they made one character out of it. So, yeah, that's called cutting payroll. That's what we call that.
Yeah. Exactly.
The waiters preoccupy themselves with endless gossip, complaining about the customers, seeking covert revenge on particularly rude or annoying patrons, and playing a special kind of game which involves flashing genitalia at a fellow coworker, or a fellow worker, pardon me. Each employee has his or her own problems and stories, which are interwoven with the ebb and flow of business. So that's like the really paragraph take for about, what is it? An hour of the movie.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So I gotta say, it's funny. Now watching this again, having worked in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I said, a lot of this is true to life. It really is. And that's why I love this movie, because it's funny. It's raunch funny given.
But, do you know who created it? The creators of American Pie.
Yeah, and it makes complete sense because they get it.
Yeah.
This is not like, this is shit that happens.
I get it.
This is maybe all in one night. It's kind of like, The funny thing about this is you watch Waiting and you see all the shit going on in like one shift or two if you're Calvin. But this is like you work in a restaurant for a couple months, you're going to see all of this pretty much.
There's no way. My daughter says she didn't see any of this.
She doesn't work in a restaurant. She works at a fast food restaurant. That's a little bit different.
No, she works at Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, she has not worked there that long though.
Wow, months and months.
Well, then she's lying.
No,
Okay.
she says that they're a little bit different at Texas Roadhouse.
She's also worked there during and towards the end of COVID, so it's a little bit different. This isn't a fucking free for all. Okay.
Okay.
This is also not back in the aughts. And
toxic
back
masculinity.
in the 90s, yes, this is when I worked in a restaurant. I'm going to tell you, not even that. I'm saying all the crazy bullshit that goes on. I will say the one thing, which I don't know if what's her name qualifies as this, but the one thing I think this was missing, because it really, I swear to God, I have seen these personality types and these different.
Okay, we're going to go over them.
But the one thing I think was missing was the career waitress. And
although I think, okay, if you're going to ask me, the person who fits that description is Naomi.
I would say so. And I will tell you also, I do remember a waitress that did not that she flashed her shit like she was Sharon Stone everywhere at the end, but was like that, very, very territorial about how you schedule the floor. And because this is her money every day, which I do get, but also being a
Naomi is that way.
Very big bitch about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, fuck everybody else. You give me this.
That is Naomi. She is that career person, but she also has a mean streak. Now you're talking about, when you talk about how she flashed her junk, which really that was a actual ridiculous merkin that they borrowed from something else. That borrowed from another movie.
That wasn't her.
That's what the facts said. I don't have it in here though, so it's not a verified.
No,
fact.
This was Melissa Alonso as Stunt Bush, according to the credits.
But the bush itself
not
is a merkin.
Not to be confused with Melissa Alano. Melissa Alonso, Stunt Bush.
Stunt Bush. But no, Naomi, she's high strung. I mean, she's one of those people that she goes off the floor and she's nonstop. There's a problem with everything. And then once she turns that corner, hi, how you doing? Hi. She can turn it on and off. She is the professional that way. All the others, I think, tend to carry their same attitude forward and backward.
It is funny though, because I do remember that. And you know, if you ever work in a restaurant, like there are people that do that and that can't, and you see, and I mean, just going to a restaurant, you can tell people come out, they're super nice. You're like, oh God, you gotta be on Prozac. You gotta be,
because everyone has problems.
Chopping it up and sniffing it back at the, in the kitchen. And then you get people that are like, they're going to let their day overtake whatever. They don't give a fuck about their job. They're going to be like, I'm pissed. My boyfriend lost his snake at the house.
Oh, wow.
Fuck you. What do you want? Can I start you off with a salad?
What's worse in this movie is the customers, or is it because we have a few interesting customers. We have the bitchy lady, obviously.
We have Apple customers throughout.
Yeah, the redneck. You have the visitors. I wouldn't call them foreigners. That's kind of rude.
Well,
yes, they are from a foreign.
Hey, guess what? I'm going to call them foreigners. I'm not going to be. I don't care if it's rude because they're making fun of Americans.
But yeah, I will say that they kind of softened that scene by doing that. But they didn't know whether they did or not at the beginning, and they kind of were dicks to them. It's like they had a little xenophobia about people from other countries.
Then they don't tip. No, hold on.
And that's what I said. They softened it by letting us in on what they know, but you wouldn't know if you didn't understand the language.
No. It's I don't think they have a phobia about it. I think it's more.
I hate fucking foreigners. They say it in the movie.
No, Naomi does. Naomi's a bitch. We already know this.
I hate fucking foreigners.
But was it Amy?
Amy. It was
She's
Dean's
like,
girlfriend.
Really? You sent me there? Set them with me? But no, this is just past experience. Now, I'm not going to say it's past experience and what you deal with as a waitress, knowing that there's going to be a barrier, it's going to be an issue. That's all. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying when you're dealing with that and you know that it's going to be a tough table.
Okay, so do you
that.
think she'd have rather had the redneck couple? They speak English.
Hey, neither one of them
and
tipped.
put ketchup on their fucking steak.
I would, because you know what? The foreigners didn't tip. The redneck couple tipped. What? What was that?
$1.63 or something like that.
$1.91 or something.
Yeah. So now here's the thing. We'll get into Dean here in a second, but I want to get into that situation of a tip. Do you have the right to refuse a tip as a server?
Yeah.
Because I think you should have the right to say
do
no.
Whatever you want.
I don't want your money.
Your ass,
take it.
They
can't force you to take their money. Like when he gave that change back, he should have taken it. Now he was a little bit of a dick about it.
He was a big dick about it because the table was a dick.
But at the same time, he has the right not to take the money. That's why I always thought when I saw that, I'm like, he didn't have to take that money. Fuck him.
So you know what? I gotta say, here's one thing, and it does happen. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but as a server, you do stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. You absolutely do. Because you have a pretty good idea who's going to tip, who's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Who's going to run you ragged and leave you a fucking quarter tip.
Yeah, me.
Like, you get that. Yeah, you, because you're a dick. But but that's the thing. And, when you're waiting on people and you every day, constant interaction, you get a good idea of what your assumption.
I know.
So it's funny because servers will stereotype big time.
They do.
And you will be surprised at times. Sometimes you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Sometimes not. Sometimes you're going to have people that are like, oh, they're going to tip well. Because, they come in all, dressed up.
Swanky.
And they fucking, oh, no, shit. They just came from church. They ain't going to tip you shit.
They left you that $20 Find Jesus fake $20 bill. This isn't a tip, but this is your salvation on the other side.
Fuck those people. Double fisted in the ass.
Double fuck you. You're going to be like Amy and what Monty said. You've taken more than a couple, more than a finger. I
will say churchgoers that are assholes, fuck you. Don't go to church because you're a dick.
Yeah. Well, if they do that, like those, that does happen. People do leave that shit all the time.
So many people that go to church and then go out to eat and are complete assholes. You don't belong in church because you're a fucking prick. You belong in hell.
Yeah.
Just say that.
Well, church doesn't make you a good person, as I always say. Let's talk about some of the other people. Calvin, we kind of talked about him. He can't pee in public.
No.
He's kind of a bitch with this girl that he thinks he has a relationship with.
Yeah.
Which to me is crazy. I don't know that he's in that friend zone. I think that's what it is. And he's in the he cares too much zone.
It's kind of funny. Ryan Reynolds in Just Friends. He's kind of him in Just Friends.
Like the beginning of it.
In the friend zone, yes.
Yeah.
In not the beginning and most of it.
Yeah. He is that guy. And at least he does have some growth in this movie. Like he's one of the few people that grow as a human.
Again, you gotta see part 2.
Well, I know, but I don't judge this on that movie because I watch it as it is.
Calvin turns into a bitch slapping pimp, basically.
I'm sure he does.
He's pulling some ass.
Well, now that he can pee in public again.
Yeah.
I mean, Now I want to talk about some people that, let's see, do I have this as a generic? No, I don't. Dane Cook's character.
Yes.
Forget his fucking name, but I hate him.
Welcome
I
to
hate Dane
Thunderdome,
Cook with
bitch.
I hate Dane Cook's comedy. I think he's not funny.
Really?
I hate the fucking Hot Pocket thing. So when I see him, it
like
really
Dane
annoys
Cook.
me typically.
I don't love him, but I like him.
I feel that he was a product of this time period, this toxic masculinity of bullshit. And that's why he's not really big now, because what he does not age well. That's really what it is. I mean, he had a moment. I mean, we had Employee of the Month, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And that was okay movie.
I'll give you that. I'm just saying. I like Dane Cook. I didn't love him.
Not my.
He was never like, oh God, he's so funny. I do like him in this though.
But there is a fact about him on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He had no lines written for him. Everything he does is ad-libbed.
Well, that's good then.
That is impressive in the sense that he doesn't need lines.
Carpe these nuts.
Yes, that's it. You know, that's just the coup de grace of lines. I don't think that anybody's ever said that. It's quite the way he does.
God, I can't wait to quit this job.
That's another line.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
The 5-second rule almost became the 10-second rule.
And then the tongs with the tongue.
Yeah, he's doing the whole tongue. Yeah, he is a you know what though? I'm guessing he is what one of those people might be like. Toxically male, probably rude to the women.
At a restaurant?
Yeah. Yes. I could see that being a thing. So yeah, that's his character's like that. Radimus, let's talk about him. Another one of the chef.
Yes.
He's a troubling character for me. I want to like him.
Really?
But I want to because I like that actor. But how can I like that guy? He's showing his dick around.
I'm sorry, Radimus. I'm sorry. So sorry. I was thinking, never mind.
Okay, Radimus, he's rude to his girlfriend.
Yes.
Makes him jerk him off in the most inappropriate places.
But you try to get me to jerk you off.
That's at the movie theater, and then he goes to his uncle's funeral.
Yeah, but you try to get me to jerk you off.
Yes, that's right. Then later on, when they try to have sex, he looks everywhere, can't go out in the parking lot, so they go into the fucking bathroom, and they have to do it in the stall. And that's awful. That's why I said Radimus, and that's just him with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Then there's him as the game player.
So, hold on, I gotta say something. And it makes me wonder about this in a restaurant setting. So think about it like this. Okay, a work environment in general. You know, people hook up with people at work.
Yes.
In a lot of work environments. Okay. Do you think that the cooks get a better opportunity for that because girls think that, well, at least they can cook. They know how to cook. Is that
maybe
a deal?
Yeah, maybe.
Like
they see it as
he knows how to cook. Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Pull my pants down now. He knows how to cook.
Speaking of that, I've got a 6-pack here.
All right.
I want to hit my 6-pack because we're talking about Radimus. So here we go. And I'm going to get into my problems with the game. But what I do like is how Radimus says this line. You don't just pull down your pants and say, look at my dick.
Look at my dick.
You got to be sneaky.
And say, look at my dick.
You got to be sneaky. The way he says that, it's like fucking look at my dick. You gotta be sneaky. Just the way he does that, man. It's like, oh, he's fucking wrong. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Everybody in this movie's wrong, except for Mitch.
Where am I at on here? Sorry, it's taking a moment. I'm not going over the two main characters yet because I didn't want to go there yet because there's a lot of things we can talk about there. Actually, I think Dean's easiest to talk about. Dean is so
you're too easy, man. You're too easy, man.
Who's
Dean says it at the end. Dean.
Oh yeah.
You're too easy, man.
But Dean's too easy because really all he is extremely smart underachiever. You know, based on what society calls an underachiever, and he's offered an assistant manager job that he ultimately turns down. There's not much controversy to his character throughout this movie. He does have his moments where, like we talked about the redneck, where he upset about the low tip.
Yeah.
He does have the guy. Now here's the one that gets me with him. Mm-hmm. He helps that one guy who thinks he's a master at his craft. You know, he helps that table out, and he's like, "Man, you're a master," and he gives him a card. And I thought when I saw that card, he throws it away. But I'm like, that's probably some shit like Ruth's Chris or some fancy steakhouse where That's real money doing what you do because you're appreciated for how well you do it.
Yeah, but that's not what he wanted. He thought it was a
That's
better
fucking
opportunity.
stupid. What you want
Better
and what you
opportunity.
need are two different things.
I also gotta say, I do feel like there is a continuity error there too.
Why?
And I'm trying to remember now. He crumples it up and throws it on the floor, and then
later on has it again.
Still has it, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But that doesn't matter. We see Jeff's Steakhouse, and it made me think that had to be one of those fancy, like, we have those Cameron Mitchell restaurants here in Central Ohio. It's probably one of those fancy joints, and he probably could make 6 figures being a waiter there.
Not necessarily, no.
Not 2005, but now maybe.
Now maybe, but not then. So it's totally different.
But if he'd make more than Dickhead, $45,000 a year.
I got to give my first 6-pack.
All right, here you go.
All right.
Let's go 6-pack first.
And also my generic.
All right. Okay.
Because we got far into this, but...
well, we're jumping around. Like I told you, we're talking more about characters.
That's what I'm going to give it right now.
Yeah.
The bitch.
Yes.
The first biatch of the day.
Okay.
My 6-pack is that she did get screwed over, but my generic is the grossness of what they did to her food.
Oh, I knew that was yours. Did I put that down here?
It like that whole fermented cheese and
I put that there.
And everything. That's disgusting. So, but here's where I'm really torn with this though, and this is what I want to bring up to you. I don't ever think it's right to mess with somebody's food like that, and that is like
ever.
That's the worst. Like literally, that's like spitting in somebody's face. You don't ever fucking do that.
It's not good.
At the same time, don't be a fucking C-word in a restaurant for no reason at all.
That's no reason.
I don't know what kind of ratings we get on here. I don't want to get us flagged, so I don't want to say it. I would say it, but I don't want to.
Okay.
Don't be a complete fucking dickhead, bitch ass, motherfucking shit eating cockhole.
So he says all that, but he can't say the C word.
Is that better? I'll say it. I just don't know.
That's okay. Go ahead.
But anybody that comes into any place, and we have this term now, it's called Karen. But even that,
oh, she's the Karen,
a complete fucking bitch asshole. And you had redneck guy earlier, and then you have her. Liz, like, here's my thing: there are people that get it and that don't get it. Okay, this is a big thing for me.
I know.
When you get it, okay? You go somewhere, don't be an asshole. If something's not completely right, but does it really hurt you that much?
No. Let
it go. Is it a big deal? Is it gonna intrude more on somebody to have to deal with it than just is it a big deal? Like, for instance, like if I get my food and something's wrong with it, not a big thing, but
just let them know.
I got waffle fries instead of straight cut or something. Not even that. Like, I'm good. But when people want to be an asshole, even before stuff gets started. No. Screw you. Go to hell.
You were looking for a problem before the problem got there.
Exactly. So
that's kind of
don't be that person.
But I'm going to give my 6-pack
all right
on the back of yours. And that is the cardinal rule. We learn, don't fuck with people who serve you food.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
It's
because if 1% of this is true that we watched in this movie,
exactly,
you don't want 1%.
Why would you do that? You should fucking. Does anybody know better?
Just be respectful and say, I think this might. I ordered this. Can I get it a little different?
Fuck with the people that serve your food, and don't fuck with the people that fix your car. How about that?
And don't fuck with people that cut you open to fix your organs.
That too.
That's just, there's a cardinal rule is don't fuck with people who get inside your body or could hurt your body. Don't fuck with people
that affect your life directly.
Yeah. And that's waiters and waitresses. Now, I do want to go backtrack because I forgot to do this. I had a generic that I didn't say earlier. Let me hit it. And it was when Radimus was having sex with the girl in the stall. And it was when Nate and T-Dog opened up, or is it Nick and T-Dog? Nick and T-Dog opened it up and took a Polaroid of them having sex. I thought that was against the law. I thought that was an illegal shit that they did there. And I didn't like that.
I don't know.
It'd be like, I don't know. That's inappropriate. It's opening up a stall. And
this is not a generic for me because I already gave mine. But one generic I could have had throughout this movie is so many unsanitary things with this movie throughout.
Oh, gosh.
No, hold on. Radimus. Because he's having sex with her, first of all, in a bathroom stall. A dirty fucking bathroom stall.
Yeah.
And remember, not that long ago, we saw Radimus showing the game to Mitch with a fucking
holding
raw
his dick.
chicken leg in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the shit. Like
you gotta spread it out like this.
Yeah, I don't know how often he washes his hands, and now he's fucking his girlfriend in the John. There's a lot of health sanitation issues going on.
Yes. There is a lot of health and sanitation.
She may be pregnant with a chicken after this. We don't know.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh, but okay, I want to go over a couple more characters here. Well, Nick and T-Dog, let's get them out of the way.
Yes. We're not going to get them out of the way. They are epic.
They were losers.
They're epic.
They should have been fired a long time ago.
No. This is why I love Nick and T-Dog.
Okay.
They're where they should be right now, and that's okay.
Well, the only reason they exist is so that the manager, Dan, feels like he has power over someone.
But they're where they are because restaurants need busboys.
True.
But they are where they should be right now at this point in their lives. Getting high, bussing tables. And that's okay. We've got the other people in this movie that maybe should move on or don't have direction. They're where they should be right now, and that's okay at this point.
And they're never going to get any better. They're going to keep dreaming in the back lot about being weed dominators, which now they're looking back when weed's getting legal in a lot of places. They don't look very that would have been a bad long-term business strategy.
I don't know, because I feel like Nick and T-Dog were probably planning this in their head, their marketing strategy.
Oh, you think they're behind the curve
and everything? They probably are.
They're like, we're the shit.
Nick and T-Dog disposable vape pens. Got it. Done.
Disposable vape pens. I'm just not I don't know. You like them. I guess I did not know you would be like all on their train.
I do, because I love me some Andy Milonakis. And
yeah.
Did you watch the end credits?
But I didn't give a shit.
I'm gonna throw that out. That's my other 6-pack. I'll just throw that out now. Their rap video at the end.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
I probably did watch it, but forgot it because I let it play. It was on.
You gotta watch that again. You're not prepared, and then you gotta watch the sequel to Waiting, because you do have to see some of this stuff. But they actually do a rap video at the end of that one too. But the end of this one, that's my other 6-pack, my second one. Their rap video at the end, amazing. Amazing.
No. The only thing amazing that they had was when one dude is asleep because of all the whippets, and he's dreaming about the fire and putting gasoline on the manager and screaming at him.
My name fucking T-Dog. How many times I gotta tell you?
That's probably the best thing they did there. Let's see who else we got. Okay. Another person we got here is Bishop. He's the guy who he can say smart things and help you out, but he's kind of full of shit too.
Bishop is Chef from South Park.
Yeah. I guess.
Yes. Hello, children. Hey, Chef.
I don't know. He
gives the advice.
He's Bagger Vance, but in the kitchen.
We don't talk about Will Smith or Bruno.
Oh, Smith. Oh, fuck. That's so true, man.
No, I'm just kidding. Now, Bishop is to me he's like Chef from South Park.
He does give good advice, though, I think.
Yeah.
But my favorite part is when him and Calvin, between those two, are talking, and he's explaining him his situation, and he's talking to him, and he's like, your problem is, and then Calvin interrupts and goes, oh, wait a second. In order to pull down his pants and show his dick, when he's afraid to piss in public, but he's not afraid to show his dick to a guy that's about to come up. So it's like, I mean, it's totally mental. The guy's looking at my dick, because the whole impetus of his piss problem is that the guy next to him, who looked like Dax Shepard, but I don't think it was him, looked down at his dick and said, "Nice dick." It did look like Dax Shepard, but he's uncredited if so, because I couldn't find it. It did look like him. Just letting you know. But he's not afraid of doing it at work. So yeah, there's that. And then Bishop, and then he gives Calvin great advice later when he finally does. But then Calvin pisses himself in front of the high school girls. There's that. He tries to help Naomi, but
something wrong?
Yeah. He tries to help Naomi. Well, that's why Bishop told him start at home with those thoughts, then take it public. Don't do it in public yet, because I think you knew.
You gotta wait to take it public.
But Naomi, he tried to help her, and then she did her usual thing. You can shut the fuck up,
Quit your psychobabble bullshit.
That's right. That's what it is. Fuck you. Like she's high strung, but he helps, and he tries to help. He helps Dean, I guess, to help find his own penis game, is what he called it. Finding his own penis game. So that was pretty good. I mean, he does help some people in this movie, I guess. I kind of like that. Now, the other, I'm going to get to Monty last, just to let you know.
Okay.
Because he poses the most problems, so we'll get there.
Okay.
But we have Mitch first.
Mitch. Freaks and Geeks. Mitch.
See, that's where you know him from. I know him from Bones.
Okay.
He was in Bones. And see, here's what's fucking hilarious, though, is my wife watched every single episode of Bones, but doesn't realize, like, one day when I'm like, oh, that's the guy from Bones whose favorite song was Put the Lime in the Coconut. I don't know if you ever watched it, but that was his favorite song in the show. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like totally gaslighting me with this. Like, you're serious? You didn't watch every episode of this fucking show? You don't know who that is? I'm like, it's that guy. It's the guy from Bones.
It's the dude. It's the dude.
She totally will gaslight you and say, no, I don't know who that is. It's like, you fucking know. I know you know. Fuck you.
So anyway, she doesn't know or doesn't care to know?
She knows, but doesn't. Yeah, that's it. But she doesn't care to acknowledge it.
Right.
I think that's what it is. Like, I know she knows who it is because he was the assistant to the main character.
Which is funny because your wife would be like, you put her down in front of a Hallmark movie.
Oh, fucking
That's the guy that played the kid's mom's dad in Stole My Shoes video.
And the other one.
And the one with the girl from Dirty Dancing. Not the main girl, but the aborted child from Dirty Dancing.
But Mitch, he's obviously he can't say a word all day, it seems, with these people. And the first thing he learns when he comes in is the penis showing game.
Yes.
So that is the first thing he learns.
Hot pile of nut. Can we give a nod there? This is the first time, that I ever remember we see Ryan Reynolds shirtless and those abs. You talk about Patrick Swayze's fucking.
I'm not going to go.
Abs.
I told you we're going to get to Monty.
Are you kidding me? Those abs are like fucking airbrush photoshopped, but they're real.
You're an asshole.
I'm just saying, like, goddamn. You have to eat tuna on your cereal to get those abs in the morning.
I wash my laundry on his abs.
No, those fucking abs, that shit's dry clean only.
But I want to get into Mitch just a little more here.
All right.
Mitch, he's a good character. Doesn't say a fucking word. Gets to see too many dicks, it seems.
Yes.
In my opinion, one more than your own is too many for me. that's
Your own is too many for me. I'm like, that's enough, Dick.
yeah. I see that. And I'm like, I've seen it.
No, yep. No,
Been there, done that. So yeah, there's that. So because we're gonna move on, and it kind of summarizes here in a second, but I do want to now go to Monty, because I feel this is the most problematic character in this movie for me. What about you?
Probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Because here's my thoughts on this with Ryan Reynolds. I can't believe. I don't know if he claims this character anymore. There can't be any world where he goes, I loved playing that character, because he played a person who Dean confirmed that he was with underage girls at some point. He says, you did this.
Let me say, first, number one, before we get into this, can I give my another 6-pack?
Yes.
All right. Monty's dinner with Dean.
Oh, and his mother? Oh, I love that. Fucking A.
God.
Oh, I love it.
That's why I only practice anal sex. Of course I'm careful. I pull out. Oh,
if I'd have done it too.
I would have been so lucky.
Yeah. I can't blame Monty's mom for giving him shit, though.
That dinner scene is, oh my God, that's amazing.
It explains so much, though, because they are the same person.
Yes. Yeah,
I love that.
So anyway, I do. That's a 6-pack. That dinner scene is just so cringeworthy and epic and awesome.
Yes, but the good part about that scene is we don't hear about Monty's dick that much. You know, that's always nice, and we don't hear his need for underage girls and trolling high schoolers.
We don't hear about his dick that much because everyone knows he's orally fixated.
No, you're right. We did hear about his dick from his girlfriend. That is so true.
He played her vagina like a violin.
And once we got past the foreplay, which, I want to say that it's foreplay. It's not like there's this magical thing that this happens this time and this happens this time in a sexual conquest, right? Or a sexual situation. Sometimes it's all sex. It's just, different ways of making things happen. That's being kind of cruel to a guy who, is maybe exceptional at something.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Not a question. It's an unanswered question. We never found out how old Monty is. And I was always curious about this.
He's 22, I bet, because he's the same age as Dean.
We don't know that.
I would bet they're 4 years out of school.
He's friends with Dean. We never heard any backstory to Monty whatsoever.
We know he's over 18 and he's been with high school girls.
This is what I'm saying. I always wondered just how old was he?
He's over 21. You know that because when he talks to those one high school girls, he acts like, oh, you
could pass for
19 or 20.
Maybe 21.
We get that all the time.
Fucking high school girls.
So, I mean,
I want a hot pink seven.
He has to be at least 21, and he's trolling with high school girls. And like I said, early in the movie, Dean actually confirmed that, you've been with this type of person. He says it. Later on, I think he has a little bit of guilt, and that's why he says, no, I'm going to wait a week with Natasha and try and do the right thing.
1 week. Oh.
I think that's his growth in the movie when it comes to that. But really, where problems with Monty arise for me are when he's with Mitch and explaining the game, and the way they use gay slurs up and down and use it as a put down all throughout this fucking movie. That is really so. I want to hit my. Go ahead.
I agree.
So I'm surprised after Ryan Reynolds, was this character committing statutory rape allegedly, and then doing all these gay slurs playing the game. I'm surprised he doesn't let this movie deep in a hole where no one can get to it. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't want this to be the Dutch of movies.
So it's funny. When we were gonna do this movie for the podcast, I started thinking about it. That was one of the things I thought about was, holy shit, because I love this movie for what it is. Hold on, we'll talk about this later, but I thought about them like, would Ryan Reynolds ever fucking do this movie again? Because here's the thing. You look at, he's done Deadpool.
Yeah.
I know, completely different movie, but it's very
similar character, sarcastic nature.
Raunchy. Yes.
Without being offensive, though.
But different. Exactly. I'm like, would he ever do this movie again? I mean, not now, obviously. I don't think he ever would, but
no.
If he could go back, would he wipe this out from his filmography?
Yeah, I think even Van Wilder is not as, it's raunchy, but not as offensive as this. Like it's more of a satire than this is on it. This seems like it's kind of cruel. This is kind of cruel in its nature.
And the funny thing is, like, with this, because it's a satire, but not really. I said this earlier. It's not really a satire. This is kind of true to life in a lot of ways. This is how a lot of people in restaurants act. When you have these younger people working in a place,
yeah,
that's how they act.
But I'll give you, in 2005, I said it earlier, the toxic masculinity that was in movies and the raunch factor and the lack of self-awareness of how you're treating other people
right
is in this. And that's why when you see all these, now when you watch it, it's like listening to a never-ending barrage of gay hate.
Right.
It's what it is. I mean, it literally is. It's like you're supposed to think someone is a bad person because they looked at your dick and they're gay. That's what they say. That you're supposed to call him a faggot is what they say, and then kick him. That is the definition of using something as a slur.
I agree with that. Completely do. We'll talk about this later too with that. But I gotta say,
can't be too much later. We got
towards the end. Here's something I want to bring up, something towards the end when we do our ratings. But I want to say, here's what's, and I guess I get it's completely different when you're slamming that home and saying that like in a really bad way. But you know what's really interesting? I just wanted to bring this up, and I know you don't watch Friends, okay?
Yes.
You know, Friends is on all day, every day.
Yeah.
On cable. And you know, it's funny, like Friends, and they still play it every day. There's so many gay jokes in Friends.
Mm-hmm. It's the time period.
But I'm saying they still play Friends all day, every day, and there are so many gay jokes in Friends.
I agree.
Make fun of people for being gay, or are you gay? Like it's crazy to me though. I'm like, so, and I don't want to cancel Friends, and
I get it. I'm not canceled Friends.
It's interesting to me because it's like,
I canceled it before I thought that was a problem.
Shut up. You know, it's something that I think, like, you know, it's weird because like you're looking at a movie like this where obviously they shouldn't say things the way they do at all.
Ever.
Most of this movie should be banned today in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it's like, you know, the root of it and what you're making fun of, it's like that still happens. It's still being replayed on TV.
I agree, but this is a comedy, not a realism.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Friends was a comedy. It is. But
yeah,
this is
that's what makes it problematic.
And that's what I'm saying. This is meant to be an outlandish comedy. Like,
yes.
So this would be my question then. What is more acceptable? 2005 Waiting with the gay jokes, or Friends still being played on TV with the gay jokes?
I haven't seen Friends enough to give you that answer.
Okay.
But I will say this being played at all shouldn't happen on like regular TV.
No, not at all. I agree with that.
So
I mean,
that I do know. I want to put this to bed by saying that I just don't like that. It left a really bad taste in my mouth. So you said you have worked in a restaurant, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a question for you because I never have.
I was an assistant manager at Bob Evans.
Oh, well, that's not like That's okay. That's
I saw.
I get it. So, but here's even there. Maybe you know this. Does the staff hate doing those birthday party singing things that they do?
I'm sure they do. I will say I don't really remember that having to
see.
Do
that's
that.
what I'm saying. I want to know somebody who did that, like at Outback or like Texas Roadhouse.
I tell you, here's what's funny though. We were just at Rocking Horse Ranch this weekend.
Yes,
and we've been there 3 times now. 2 times, this last time included. There were birthdays, and they came out and sang.
Oh, why?
So
nice. And but the thing is, you should have done some research there, and then when they were done, pulled one of them to the side and go, "Hey, man, you don't have to turn it on for me, the charm or anything. Do you like doing this right here? Because I'm doing a podcast. I just want to know."
I guess I think it depends on the person, honestly. Because
an 8-year-old kid, I'm sure you're
like, if you think about it, like maybe on one hand, if you're doing your thing, you're cooking, you're serving, whatever. Maybe it's kind of a nice break. It's like, hey, I got a couple minutes. I don't have to fucking do my other shit.
Yeah.
And I have to put on a happy face for these fuckers,
Naomi style.
Exactly. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, I do want to say one more thing before we move on and I read the next section. And this is about filmmaking. We don't usually talk about the technical things that happen in a movie, but there was one scene, and it's called a one shot, and we follow Naomi when she comes out, and they do a one shot where the camera just goes around the room, and we see each person doing their thing and helping and doing that. That one shot where that's all continuous action was fucking amazing.
I completely agree.
That was until T-Dog and Nick and T-Dog walk into the restroom is the last thing we see right before they take the sexual assault picture or whatever you want to call it. That to me was an amazing thing to see.
I'm glad you brought that up because I absolutely agree. Like, that is a brilliant fucking shot. And to capture all that in a restaurant movie and that thing. And that's the thing with this movie, like working in a restaurant, to capture all that way, that was amazing. It was
great before GoPros and all that shit.
Yes, completely agree.
I don't know how they did that, but they did a great job. So I'm going to move on.
My turn. I think it's my turn.
It's not. It's my turn.
I think so.
It's mine, but
is it?
No, it's yours. Go ahead.
Told you, motherfucker. Told you, motherfucker. My name is T-Dog. How many times I got to tell you?
No, your name is Nick, Dick.
T-Dog.
Come on, foreigner, read.
My name is Nick Fleury. Mick Fleury. So, minutes before the restaurant closes, Chet and his girlfriend come in for dinner and leave Dean a generous tip out of pity. This prompts Dean to quit his job, turning down an assistant manager position Dan offered him at the beginning of the film to seek a more promising future. Now, I'm going to tell you how it's going to go down. Hot dog. I write the book here.
You're fired.
Hey, man, you're fired. Yeah. Get out. Get out of my sight.
The first time he grows a backbone.
Fired.
You're fired. I said it first. Childish. I will say at the end of this, before Chet comes in, since I have worked in a food industry and even in a retail industry, the clock watching is real.
Oh,
like
no doubt.
You're fucking watching that shit like, don't you do it. Don't you fucking come in here. And that's the other thing about the golden rule. You know what? Don't come into a place 1 minute before they close.
You're an idiot if you do.
Unless the chef invites you in and says, I'll do this for you.
Yes, exactly. You're all right. First of all, you're an idiot if you do. Anybody that's going to be a Karen like that, you know what time a restaurant closes.
Yes.
You don't fucking go in before they close and expect them to open everything back up, because guess what? You're fucked. Your meal is going to suck. And it's your fault. Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
We have gotten, like, and this is one thing I love about this movie. All the bad, obviously, things about it, PC wise. We have gotten a good glimpse of every asshole kind of fucking customer you can get.
Yeah, it puts a mirror up for those people to look at themselves.
But they don't. But here's the thing. people that do that, that's not a mirror to them.
They see them guys as, why are they fucking with them? They're just perfectly normal people.
Here's what happens. No. Any of those people, they're going to watch this movie and just look at the other fucking people. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't walk in when the restaurant's about to close. Or the people
I wouldn't leave $1.63 tip.
I wouldn't be a redneck. I want to order a whiskey and a Pepsi because it's a birthday. I wouldn't do that. And then the rednecks could be like, well, shit, y'all. I wouldn't be all like, hey, send my steak back because I'm still eating my salad because I want to order a salad. They're all going to look at it differently.
I want to say this, though. While Chet had no self-awareness on the time of when he came in,
Chet's
in general, he didn't seem like a bad guy, though. Like, he seemed like he genuinely was nice.
No, he did.
He seemed all right. He was just...
Hold on.
He's proud, a little proud of himself.
Dean's trying to talk to him. Could I get some more tea while you're still talking?
That was kind of mean. But I would say mean, but it was kind of like put in your place type of situation. But... other than that, I mean, though he wasn't that bad.
Other than that was enough right there.
I don't know.
This is, again, know where you're at, understand it, and act accordingly.
Yeah.
And he did
self-awareness, situational awareness. That's what it is. All right, I'm going to read the next part here. When the shift ends, the staff head to a party at Monty and Dean's house. At the party, Monty, who has a predilection for sleeping with teenage girls, is able...
I think you were right the first time.
That's a prediction. Okay. Has a predilection for sleeping with teenage girls, is able to resist having sex with Natasha, although he says they will have sex the following Wednesday when she will be 18. Calvin attempts to fix his relationship problems, and Mitch finally speaks angrily, ranting about his coworkers and quitting. He concludes by giving them all the goat from the penis showing game.
Gotta give it now. Let me give it now.
Let me go.
Let me give it now. I have to give it now.
Let me finish. But
let me give it now.
Which Radimus had told earlier and instantly grant him God status. Monty swears his undying allegiance to Mitch, telling Dean he's been replaced. The film ends with the staff talking about the incident with Mitch and Dan showing up at a disgruntled customer's house after Natasha gave him the wrong address to the party on purpose. And I'm getting the 6-pack again because I have it
Thank
too.
You.
And the only thing I like about the game is Mitch's explosion and the goat that he does on them all, but it's tainted by his use of the word "you're all faggots." But it's like I gotta hit that at the same time.
No, I'm not tainting it for that because
you want to see my taint.
It was I don't even want to see mine.
Let alone yours, eh?
Yeah. I'm not tainting it for that. That was part of the game, and that was what they said you have to say at the end of the game. So I'm just going off of that. Okay. I don't agree with it. Yes, you shouldn't play a game like that. Obviously, we're going to say that, whatever. But that's what people did.
I mean, showing the dick is not the problem.
You know what? Let me look. I'm going to say that's what people did back then. That's what people still do now. It still fucking happens. I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying in the context of what's going on in the movie, he played the game and all those fucking assholes, the way he told them off and then did that.
But the most perfect part about it was, and you're the worst of them. And he and makes everybody look at Dan Cook.
You are the worst piece of shit in this entire
And then when they all look away, that's when
I know.
It's fucking genius.
Great. It was great. That's awesome.
Fucking genius.
Awesome.
But, the problem, the penis game itself isn't a problem. If it was just, if I made you look at my dick, I get to kick you in the ass 3 times and call you a dumbass. That would be fine. It's when you start making it, you're gay because I made you look at my penis, and that's a slur because you're a bad person for some reason. Whatever.
I get it.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Do we have anything else in this section? Nah.
Well, we had,
Monty's gross behavior at the end here. Where if anybody asks, I fucked you twice. I mean, tell me that isn't
was my tease for this episode last time.
Yes. Yeah, that tell me if that isn't like gross though. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, that's okay. So here's what's you've got Monty trying to redeem himself and trying to turn a corner.
He did turn a corner.
But guess
a small one, a very small
quarter
one.
of a week.
A week.
So it's like, and this is where you're like, okay, you're underage this week, but next week you're not. So I'm gonna bang you like a screen door next week.
But
next week.
Here's the real question I have for you. Why are we so shitty towards Monty right now? But Matthew McConaughey's character in Dazed and Confused, we weren't quite as bad. I think we did mention that it was not good.
Hold on. We did, but also he just says that one time. This is not an ongoing thing throughout the movie.
Yeah, Dean doesn't say you've been with high schoolers at the beginning, and then later on they see high schoolers in his area, and he's dating a high schooler.
And the whole, but by having sex with Natasha, because I wasn't alive when the goddamn rules were made.
Oh, that's it. You're right. That's the problem with this for Ryan Reynolds, is that he did that whole morality thing where because I wasn't there to make the rules, they're not rules of mine, so I can do what I want.
Right.
That's so bad. That is so bad. It's like, that's gross behavior.
Because we've already got the idea that Monty has been with many underage girls.
We've got that idea. Yeah. Now I want to say this. At this party, is it not weird to not see one smartphone? Isn't it weird to like everybody's just hanging out like old school, no smartphones?
Well, 2005, so
it's a little before. It's 3 years before the smartphone rise.
But people had cell phones.
Yes, but we didn't see one of those either.
No, we did. We saw
Calvin had one. Yeah,
so
that's so true.
That was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was about it. So you didn't see a lot of cell phones. It was really.
So you know what that means?
What?
The employees followed the rules. No phones at work.
Fucking A.
The one redeeming thing they had.
Except for Calvin's the only one who broke that fucking rule, and he's like the most normal guy out of them all, really.
Yeah, but he didn't do it on the floor.
He didn't. You're right. He did it in back.
So, I'll give him that.
That is.
Oh, but oh my God, there's shit. So much.
I wanted to say the one last thing is when Dan gets tricked to go to that guy's house. Who answers their fucking door in briefs? Who answers the door in their whitey tighties? Like
the same guy that
who puts ketchup on a steak.
$1.91 tip on a $60 check. Put ketchup on a steak. Get his wife a Pepsi because it's her birthday after he ordered 2 whiskeys, and demanded
a Sunday. And
you gonna mail my Sunday? My goddamn Sunday! I want it right now.
Right now. I would not.
I should get a T-shirt and a keychain.
And what's funny about that situation is Dan is like, trying to please him right there. But then later on, during the one shot, we see Dan talking to that lady where he goes, I understand it may have been overcooked, but did you have to eat it all before you let us know? Like, so he's obviously not afraid to stand up to the customer when it's stupid behavior. Well, I guess
he's not afraid when it's going to cut into the profit lines because as a manager, that's what you're judged on. And so here's the thing. I remember this working at the BE.
Yeah, the BE.
It was like a competition basically, like every shift to see how much you brought in. Those fucking numbers. And it's
all about numbers.
It was a big deal. How much you brought in that shift. That was a big deal.
I'd have been a rainmaker. You'd have loved me.
You gotta be like, yeah, you would.
Because, that's how I roll.
But it's a big deal. So, yes, you have to argue. And but that's another one too. And that went under the radar, though. Because we had all these asshole customers. You got the spectrum.
That was the under the radar.
The person that's like, I'm going to eat most of my food